Once again, we appreciate you, our esteemed audience, for the support, comments, and most importantly, the questionnaires you send us. This is a clear indication and manifestation that you keenly follow, listen, and watch our videos. Recently, we received queries from businesses and individuals who are stuck with tax issues. Are you one of the many individuals and businesses who registered for taxation many years ago but haven't been operating? Are you ready now to commence bidding and tendering for business contracts? Do you need to have a valid tax clearance certificate to qualify for bidding and tendering? Are you not sure as to where to start from and what to do? If so, you are not alone. Many people find themselves and are already trapped in this situation, and they feel overwhelmed about where to begin from. Hello, esteemed viewers and listeners out there. Once again, my name is Joseph KB Kazagumanja. Join me in this segment of Business in 10. We will provide a step-by-step guide to help you get started and ensure you comply with all the necessary tax regulations. Let us now jump into the steps to get started. First step, build your confidence. There are steps that you can take to gather confidence and move forward. First and foremost, it is important to acknowledge that being non-compliant with tax laws can have serious consequences, including fines and penalties. However, it is also important to remember that taking steps to become compliant can help alleviate these consequences. It can also restore your confidence and get yourself and your business back on the wheels to success. One of the best ways to gather confidence as a non-compliant taxpayer is to seek advice and assistance of a tax professional. These professionals can help you understand your obligations under tax law and any steps you need to take to become compliant. I have included my WhatsApp link in the description segment if you need any additional and personalized support and assistance anytime. Another significant step in gathering confidence is to take ownership of the situation. This means taking responsibility and ownership of the problem by being honest with yourself and with the authorities about any past non-compliance and taking responsibility for rectifying the situation. Gathering confidence as a non-compliant taxpayer will require a combination of education, proactive action, and most importantly, willingness to take responsibility for past mistakes. With the right support and mindset, it is possible to regain compliance and move forward with confidence. Take note that if you don't do that now, you'll do it later, and you will pay for the time between now and then. Second step, verify your status with tax authorities. To ascertain one's tax registration status and any potential outstanding liabilities, it is advisable to contact the tax authorities through their official channels. This process will provide valuable insight into accounts' current status and indicate if any updates or corrective measures are necessary. It is also noteworthy that penalties may accrue over time depending on the nature of taxes registered. Notably, income tax or corporate tax and value-added tax are among the taxes that may attract significant penalties. In a situation where an individual or organization fails to report their activity or inactivity, the tax authorities may assume that there is an intentional act of concealment, and subsequently charge the account with estimated values. It is therefore advisable to take corrective action as soon as possible to rescue the account. Delaying the necessary action may result in the account incurring substantial penalties and tax obligations. That means now is the right time to face it head on. Don't ever think you can run away. Third step, gather your paperwork. Gathering paperwork is crucial for dealing with non-compliance to build a strong case and identify areas of non-compliance for corrective action. My immediate advice is to gather recent information first. For instance, if you have been non-compliant for 5 years, say 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022, start with 2022, then work backwards. It's easier to gather recent year records, say 2022, than records of 2021. That on its own will help you to gain confidence. If record keeping was a problem, then reconstructing the necessary information becomes essential. One option is to seek out records from the third parties with whom transactions were conducted, such as banks and other financial institutions. Take note that revenue is very critical and should never be understated. For instance, during the preparation of financial statements for a foreign incorporated company in 2021, the provided information was used to submit the assessment to the Malawi Revenue Authority. However, it was discovered that not all the income had been disclosed. Fortunately, the Malawi Revenue Authority had access to accurate revenue information and took necessary action to summon the taxpayer and impose penalties accordingly. Also, make sure that expenditure is not overstated. Overstating expenditure can lead to further penalties or other legal consequences. Only include expenditure that you can justify its presence in the financial statements. Remember, only and stringently trade-related expenditures are allowed for tax computation purposes. Dealing with the consequences of non-compliance can certainly be a difficult and challenging experience. In March 2023, I had an encounter with a non-compliant taxpayer who had approached me 5 years prior, hoping to open another account with the tax authorities and resume business as usual. Unfortunately, any non-compliant activity remains a stain that will follow you until it is addressed and resolved. There is no shortcut in addressing non-compliance issues. First step, prepare and submit your return. Once you have gathered your records, start preparing returns 1 year at a time. This is where you need to hire a tax consulting firm to help you prepare the returns. The professional knows the expenditures allowable and those not allowable. However, there is no harm doing it yourself if you have the knowledge. Take note that each tax that requires a return should be prepared. If you registered for value-added tax, returns for the same should be prepared and submitted. For those who have not made any sale or payment during the period of non-compliance, they should submit a new return. But the question can be, what is a new return? A new return here refers to a tax return that reports zero income and zero expenditure. Step number 5, which is the last step to move out of the non-compliance zone, is settling tax liabilities and penalties. Once the tax authority have assessed the penalties and interest resulting from non-payment of taxes, it is crucial to settle the tax liabilities promptly. To settle your tax liabilities, you should pay the outstanding taxes and apply for a tax clearance certificate (TCC). The tax clearance certificate (TCC) confirms that you have fulfilled your tax obligations and is necessary when applying for licenses, tenders, or contracts. Remember, once the tax liability is reached at and known, you may request the tax authority to pay in installments. Yes, you may request to pay in installments. This is allowed by Malawi Revenue Authority, Zambia Revenue Authority, among other tax authorities. The Taxation Act allows you to apply and seek a penalty and interest waiver from the Commissioner General. Yes, what I'm trying to mean here is, once the penalties and interest are known, you may apply for a waiver from the Commissioner General. At the sole discretion of the Commissioner General, he may waive or deny the penalty waiver application depending on the grounds and circumstances of the matter. Again, if you are unable to pay full amount owed immediately, it is important to note that you should not sacrifice all your revenue for tax purposes. And I repeat, you should never sacrifice all your revenue for tax purposes. Instead, you may request a flexible payment plan from the tax authority. The payment plans will depend on the amount owed, and it can provide you with the necessary breathing space to settle tax liabilities without jeopardizing your business operations. All in all, there is always a way out of tax non-compliance situations. For more resources in the description segment. Please provide your suggestions in the comments section below for topics related to finance, accounting, and business management that you would like us to cover in our upcoming recordings. Your input is greatly appreciated. Kindly support our channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay informed. See you in the next segment.